Soon after his grandfather's passing, at the age of 7, his family moved to Miramar, Florida, where they spent a long time living in motels until his father found secure work as director of public works. Miramar was a small town, and Johnny says that there were 2 grocery stores that faced each other and nothing really happened there. Johnny remembers that they lived in probably 20 houses by the time he was 15. He says that whenever he packs a suitcase to go on his many trips, it can trigger old memories of moving. The move was very hard on Johnny, and for a time he felt an era of instability and uncertainty, which brought out his wild side. Johnny admits that he feels he was a weird kid who wanted to be Daniel Boone to Bruce Lee. As Johnny began to get older, his interests changed to music. His uncle was a preacher and had a gospel group that performed in the church. Johnny loved the music and saw a type of performing as his uncle stood at the podium and called out to the audience to come and be saved. He learned how to capture a crowd's attention and was more interested in the effect and role that the music played on the people than the preaching itself. Another influence of music came from his brother Danny, who he shared a room with. His brother was into rock music and opened Johnny up to Van Morrison, Kiss, and Bob Dylan. Johnny continued to grow more wild and to escape into his own fantasy world. He was fascinated with recklessness and danger. He played Evel Knievel in the Second World War. He dug tunnels in the yard with his friend and had a secret plan to dig an escape tunnel from his room in the house to the backyard. Because of his outsider treatment at school and his own feelings of not belonging, Johnny began to totally come about as a dreamer and was constantly in trouble during school. He had problems with one particular teacher who decided to single him out and embarrass him in front of the class. Johnny finally had enough, and before he left the room, dropped his pants and mooned her. Johnny was suspended and from then on labeled a troublemaker. He lived up to the label well as he began to pull stunts with his friends, like soaking a shirt in gasoline and catching it on fire to try and imitate Gene Simmons' fire-eating stunt. For a split second it backfired and Johnny's face was caught up in the flames. That night when his mom came home, Johnny told her that he was burned by fireworks, so he wouldn't get into trouble. He started to pull typical pranks like egging cars, and school fell away to the back burner.